This is a special Sunday because we are going to honor our mothers. I think if there is a great, what we call this, deserving thing we are going to do is to recognize our mothers, not only for today. We regret that it's only for today, but I hope that you do not just honor your mothers only on Mother's Day, but every day. Have you called your mothers? Have you called? Yeah, this morning before I left to church, I called my mom because I might forget. This day is a very busy day, and I might forget to call my mom. And I thought I was the first one to call my mom, but my brother called her earlier. So I thank the Lord that we had mothers. Most of you, maybe a few of us were not raised with our mothers because you were raised with your grandmother or your aunties or with somebody else, with a guardian. No, it is not your fault. It is not because you choose for it, but God allowed it. It does not make you any lesser than those who have mothers. But in any way, they are your mothers because they nursed you. So, who we recognize today as the one who brought us, nursed us, nurtured us, we consider them as mothers. I have a lot of mothers in the churches where I met a lot of older sisters in the Lord. I call them nanay, I call them mother, I call them mom. As a part of our endearment, I think Filipinos, we love to just call out of our respect to an older, advanced in age, brother and sister as tatay, nanay, or this kind of address. So this morning we are going to focus on the mother's heart, a mother's heart. The mother's heart is like a garden where a lot of plants, a lot of things or living things are growing up there. Now, if you think of the mother's heart as a garden, what do you think are the plants there? What do you think are the plants there? Okay, there are a lot of plants, you know. But what kind of plants should grow in a mother's heart? Roses. Kaya nga natinik yung mga puso ng nanay kasi may rose doon. Okay, let me just suggest 3 plants for today. I know there are a lot of plants, but for today, let me just suggest 3. Number 1 is a bamboo plant is there. Next is that there is a banana tree there, or banana. A banana is not a tree. Sorry, I forgot my agriculture. A banana is not a tree. It's a plant also. And a coconut tree. Okay. These are the 3 plants I know and I believe that are in the hearts of our mothers. Now, you will understand why these are the 3 plants that I believe are in the hearts of our mothers as a garden, the picture of a garden. Our text for today is Matthew chapter 15, verse 21 to 28. Let me read. And Jesus went away from there and withdrew to the district of Tyre and Sidon. And behold, a Canaanite woman from that region came out and was crying, "Have mercy on me, O Lord, Son of David. My daughter is severely oppressed by a demon." But he did not answer a word, and his disciples came and begged him, saying, "Send her away, for she is crying out after us." He answered, "I was sent only to the lost sheep of the house of Israel." But she came and knelt before him, saying, "Lord, help me." And he answered, "It is not right to take the children's bread and throw it to the dogs." She said, "Yes, Lord, yet even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall from their master's table." Then Jesus answered her, "O woman, great is your faith. Be it done for you as you desire." And her daughter was healed instantly. I will focus on this text in Matthew chapter 15 for our message this morning, looking into the heart of this mother. A mother of great faith, a mother of exemplary faith. She was commended by the Lord for her big heart for her daughter. Her daughter was severely oppressed by a demon. I don't know if you have seen somebody who was possessed or obsessed by a demon. I had experience many times. I experienced it in my pastorate, in my previous pastorate in the Philippines. It's not a joke. It's not easy. And I believe if there is somebody who will be badly affected when a daughter, a son, or a child is influenced, demonized, oppressed by a demon, it's the mother. We want to protect our children, and mothers are very protective to their children. And I believe that that is what you desire also, that your children will not be influenced in any way by the demon, by the devil. Nobody wants that their child would experience an experience like this. But because of what she did, because of what she believed on Jesus, this daughter was healed, was freed from the demon's possession. Now, there are three things that we can see in the heart of the mother here. There might be many, but I would like to focus on the three things. Number one is that a mother's heart is perceptive. A mother's heart is very sensitive. In comparison to men's heart, women are more sensitive than men. Generally, there are men who are very sensitive, but generally women are more sensitive than men. In verse 21 and 22, how can we see here the sensitivity of the woman? Particularly in verse 22, when she went to Jesus, she cried out that she disturbed the disciples, actually. She cried out. Now, at 2 chapters after chapter 15, chapter 17, there was another parent, a man here, whose son also was a lunatic. And he went to Jesus, but there was no description that he was crying before Jesus. He just came to Jesus and kneeled before Jesus and said, "My son is a lunatic. I went to your disciples and they cannot remove it from him." But there was no description that he was crying like this woman. This woman was cried out aloud. I mean, the description here is that she was really shouting. She cried out. So, I believe that it's because women had a higher emotional scale than men. They are of higher sensitivity than men. And in 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 7, this is the warning of Peter to us men. What are we going to do, or how are we going to relate to our wives, to women? He said, "Likewise, husbands, live with your wives in an understanding way, showing honor to the woman as the weaker vessel, since they are heirs with you of the grace of life, so that your prayers may not be hindered." They are described here as weaker vessel. That husbands are enjoined to honor them. Now, the emphasis here in this verse is not comparison. It does not make men as better than women because men is stronger and the women are weaker, or a weaker vessel. This is not the emphasis here. The comparison is not the emphasis here. The emphasis here is understanding the women. It does not make the women or the mothers of lesser importance, of lesser value, because you are of weaker, nature. The word weak here is being infirm. It means that you are more sensitive. You are like the crystal ball. You are like the glass that can break easily. That's not an inferiority kind of description. It's just that that is your nature. Thank God for mothers because they are very sensitive. And because of their sensitivity, they knew what's going on in the house, you see. If there is a leakage of water pipes, there is a leakage of the roof, there is a broken window, who first notice it? Is it the husband? Is it the father? No, it's the mother. Ang mga nanay ang makakita muna doon. And if the husbands will not listen to their wives, the window of the room of our children is broken. Fix it. Minsan, Lumalampas lang. Hindi nakikinig yung husband, you know. Next time around, and then we sometimes interpret it as nagging, but actually they're just concerned that their children will be safe in the house where the window is not broken. So they are very sensitive. They are a weaker vessel. Understand them. Giving honor, you see? You are not lesser important because you are honorable. The Lord asked men to honor their wives as weaker vessel. Not to honor them because they are stronger. No, to honor them because they understand them and they accepted them and they just value them as a unique weaker vessel in the Lord, in the family. But my question is that, are women really weak? I don't think so. Kaya nagtataka na ako, bakit? Na kung weak yung mga babae, bakit sila yung mga anak? That does prove that you are not really weak at all. You carry a baby 9 months in your womb, and you bear the most excruciating pain in childbirth. After 9 months to deliver it, according to one posting in the Facebook, this is not confirmed, that a man can tolerate pain with certain degree called 45 del or dol. Labor daw, ang pag-deliver, labor pains is 57 dol. It's much beyond than the tolerable pain in man. That's why it is described there as, it is equivalent to somebody who had bones broken, 20 bones broken at the same time. Ganun daw kasakit ang papanganak. Iwan ko kung ganyan ba talaga. Because some people said, I have a neighbor in the Philippines where she's a very petite lady. Now, she's already gone. She died many years ago. But she told me, I was very young then, she said that when I was very young, I was 10, 12 years old, she said to herself, I will never deliver a baby. And I asked her, Manang Maria, bakit? It's because every time my mom delivered a baby, I knew how painful it is because my mother is shouting. And I promised myself I will not deliver a baby. And you know what? When she got married, she had 12 babies. So, we don't know how really painful is childbearing, but the Bible tells us that it's part and the design of women to deliver babies, and it's not a curse, folks. It's part of the design and the purpose of God in the family. Women are designed to deliver babies. Well, people said that is because of the curse of their sin. Because in Genesis chapter 3, to the woman he said, I will surely multiply your pain in childbearing. In pain you shall bring forth children. Your desire shall be for your husband. Now, this is not talking about a curse to the woman because she sinned before the Lord. Although, the pain is intensified here. But it's part of the design because in Genesis chapter 1 verse 28, that was what God wants Adam and Eve to do. They are going to procreate. Go and multiply. Be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth. So, women, it's not a curse for you to suffer or to have a labor pain. It's part of your design. Now, Solomon, who was one of the wisest king, if not the wisest king apart from the Lord Jesus Christ, aside from the Lord Jesus Christ, he said how, he has some implications here in his book in Proverbs of how sensitive and tender are the women. Let me see 3 verses. A wise son makes a glad father, but a foolish son is a sorrow father. Another verse, a wise son makes a glad father, but a foolish man despises his mother. Proverbs 29:15, the rod and reproof give wisdom, but a child left to himself brings shame to his mother. You see, whenever shame, despisings, use of pain, Ang nanay lang i-mention ni yung tatay. Because maybe there is an implication for how tender and sensitive are the hearts of the mother. Mother's heart are easily grieved because you are designed to be more emotional and sensitive than men. When a child is left to himself, the first to suffer shame is the mother. Ganyan ka perceptive ang ating nanay. And I believe that because of the sensitivity of the women and the mothers, that is the requisite, the very foundation of being sacrificial. It's because the requisite that we want to help and we want to sacrifice for people is when we feel the pain, we can empathize the pain. It's hard to sacrifice, it's hard to give ourselves to help somebody when we don't know the pain, we cannot understand the pain, we cannot identify the pain through empathy. And mothers are very emotional and sensitive to empathize the pain of children. That's why it's just but natural for women and mothers, you'll say you just don't know the pain of a mother. You just don't know how it affects a mother like me. And men are blurred. We cannot understand that. But that's true because you are designed to be more perceptive. I come into the internet and see this lady who died last year out of cancer. Her name is Elizabeth Joyce, 36 years old. She married in 2010 and she had already a cancer during the time. She had chemo treatment then and she was well until the time that she was pregnant. And the cancer came back. And the doctor advised her and her husband, Max Boyce, to abort the baby because it was just too dangerous for her life. But she insisted that I am going to save the baby. I'm going to deliver the baby. And the baby was delivered normally, but a few weeks later she died because the mass of her cancer was very malignant. But what I'm saying here is that this mother just sacrificed her all for the baby. She just sacrificed her all, her life for the baby. I think perceptivity and sensitivity leads to being sacrificial. A mother is like that. I am amused of one Facebook posting regarding sa ang 8 pagsisinungaling ni nanay. Maybe you have this post, right? Let me just read. May 8 pagsisinungaling ni nanay. Ipinanganak akong salat sa yaman. Bata pa lang ako, madalas na kaming sumalas sa pagkain. Kapag minsang meron kaming makakain sa hapag, isinasalin ni inay ang aking pinggan, ang parte ng kanin niya at habang ibinigay niya ang kanin niya sa akin at sinabi niyang, kainin mo na tong kanin ko, anak, hindi ako nagugutom. Yun ang unang pagsisinungaling ni nanay sa akin. Nang lumalaki na ako, nakikita ko ang nanay kong nanghuhuli ng isda sa ilog sa likod bahay namin para daw makakain naman ako ng masusustansyang pagkain kahit paano at hindi lang puro gulay. Kapag nakahuli siya ng 2, ay iniluluto niya ito at ihahain sa akin. Minamasdan niya akong habang kumakain at minsan kumukuha ng ilang pirasong laman sa tinik na tira ko. Inaluko yung isang isda pero agad siyang tumanggi. Ubusin mong lang lahat ng iyang isda, anak. Hindi ako kumakain yan. Yun ang pangalawang pagsisinungaling ni nanay. Para matustusan ang pag-aaral ko, ay tumatanggap si nanay ng labada sa mga kapitbahay naming may kaya. Mula umaga hanggang gabi. Halos nakababad na siya sa labahan. Minsan, nagising ako ng hating gabi at nakikita kong naglalaba pa rin si inay. Kaya sinabi sa kanya na magpahinga na siya pero ngumiti lang siya sa akin. Matulog ka na uli anak, hindi pa ako pagod. Yun ang pangatlong pagsisinungaling ni nanay. May malaking programa sa paralan namin. Sinamahan ako ni inay at naghintay sa akin sa gitna ng init ng tirik ng araw. Nang matapos na ay sinalubong ko siya ng yakap. Inabutan niya ako ng tubig sa plastik na may yelo, pero nakita ko ang kanyang tumagatak na pawis na noo. Kaya sinabi ko sa kanyang uminom din siya ng tubig, ngunit tumugon lang siya, inumin mo na yan anak, hindi ako nauuhaw. Yun ang pang-apat na pagsisinungaling ni nanay. Nang pumanaw si Itay, mag-isang tinaguyod ni inay ang buhay namin sa pagtitinda ng gulay sa palengke. Lalong naging hikaos ang buhay namin at madalas kapos kami sa pang-araw-araw na gastos. May mga kapitbahay kaming nagpapayo kay inay ng mag-asawa muli para may katuwang siya sa pagpalaki sa amin, pero mariin siyang tumanggi. Kaya kong mag-isa ito. Hindi ko kailangan ng asawa. Yun ang panglimang pagsinungaling ni nanay. Nakatapos ako ng pag-aaral at nakatuon ng maliit na pagkakakitaan, kahit paano ay nakakatulong na ako sa pang-araw-araw ng gastos namin habang patuloy na pa rin nagtitinda si inay sa palengke. Noong unang araw ng sahod ko ay iniabot ko lahat kay inay ang buong sweldo ko, pero isinauli niya lang ito sa akin. Mas kailangan mo to anak, marami pa kong pera rito. Yun ang pang-anim na pagsisinungaling ni nanay. Medyo sinuswerte ako at gumanda ang posisyon ko sa kumpanyang pinapasukan ko. Malaki na rin ang aking sahod, katunayan. Minsan ay nabigyan ako ng bonus pa para makapamasyal sa Amerika ng 2 linggo. Napagpasyan ko siyang nanay ng isama ko doon pero umayaw siya. Iba na lang isama mo, anak. Hindi ako sanay sa maranyang buhay. Yun ang pangpitong pagsisinungaling ni nanay. Hindi nagtagal, ay nakasakit si inay ng kanser at labas-masok na siya sa ospital kadalasan. Kinakailangan niyang sumailalim sa operasyon para sa kanyang karamdaman. Awang-awa ko sa kalagayan niya at naluluha ko tuwing pinagmamasdan ko siya. Nangayat ng husto si inay. Pero gayon pa man, ay nakuha pa rin niyang ngumiti. Huwag kang umiyak anak, hindi ako nakaramdam ng sakit. Yon ang pangwalong pagsisinungaling ni nanay. At pagkatapos niyang banggitin ito, pumanaw na ang pinakamahal kong inay. Can you identify this? Can you identify this to your mothers? I believe that most of us can identify to the truth of this allegation na ating nanay ay sinungaling. Tinuturuan tayo na hindi magsinungaling pero alam natin nagsisinungaling sila minsan. Nagsisinungaling sila for the thought that we will not worry about them. We will not be concerned so much about them because they are willing to sacrifice for us rather than us being worried, being so concerned about their plight. They are willing to sacrifice. Kaya nga, in the heart of a mother is a banana plant. Why? Because ang saging is a very tender plant. It has no backbone. It is a very weak plant. A little wind can blow it down because it has no taproot. It has no core, bark or core wood inside. But you see, this plant also is a very sacrificial plant, you see. Ang saging, pag kunin mo na yung bunga, putulin mo, right? They are willing to sacrifice. No? And you can only raise another fruit by the suckers. Nagsasaha siya, nung kukunan mo yung saha. No? That is one of the things that you can see in the heart of a mother. A perceptive heart, a very sensitive heart. Pangalawa is a very persistent heart. In verse 23, but Jesus did not answer her a word. And his disciples came and begged him, saying, "Send her away, for she is crying out after us." He answered, "I was sent only to the lost sheep of the house of Israel." Nakakamangha dito ang sinabi ng Biblia tungkol po sa reaction ng mga disciples at ni Jesus. The disciples particularly showed her a way. They pressured Jesus. Jesus sent her away. She is very noisy. Very makulit. She's crying after us. And Jesus said, I was sent only to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Now, was Jesus rude her? I don't think he was rude. Because Jesus cannot be rude. He cannot be unloving, cannot be contradicting to his nature as being loving. He was just stating a fact here, that during his time, he was so concerned about the house of Israel. Although his plan was to reach out to the Gentiles, including the Canaanite woman. Pero ang kanyang primary purpose this time was for the nation of Israel, for the Jews particularly. Sinabi lang niya dito that you are not my priority. And that's the truth. You are a Canaanite woman. I am Jews. It could have discouraged her. It could have melted her heart and brought her to shame, but she did not. According to verse 25, she came and knelt before him, saying, Lord, help me. And he answered, it is not right to take the children's bread and throw it to the dogs. Another statement of the Lord Jesus Christ said, hindi karapat-dapat na yung pagkain ibigay sa mga aso. The people of Israel are called the Jews. They are called the sheep of Jesus. Outside of them, they are called dogs. Instead of being discouraged, she stated in verse 27, yes, Lord, yet even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall from their master's table. Maski mumulang, maski crumbs lang, please give us. She was very relentless. She was very stubborn here, actually. Jesus answered her, O woman, great is your faith, be it done for you as you desire. And her daughter was healed instantly. She was just saying here how formidable was her spirit to just not surrender. Ganyan kakulit ang nanay para sa mga anak. Let me ask you a question. You mean you have a need in school, when you were in elementary, when you were in high school, sinong lalapitan mo? Ang tatay o nanay para mahingi ka ng pera? Pero sino ang may pera talaga? Ang tatay ba, ang nanay? Pero ang tatay ang humikita, no? Pero sa nanay tayo lumapit. Bakit ba? Kasi pag sinabi ng nanay, anak, wala kong pera, huwag ka nang hihingi sa akin. Talagang wala, mayroon yun. Hindi makatiis ang nanay. She will do everything to just provide the needs of her children. That's our experience. Why? Because the nanay is very persistent to provide the needs of her family to her children. Gagawan niyang paraan talaga na magkaroon tayo. And that's why we should not forget the pains and the labor and the sacrifices of our mothers. Why we are like this right now is because of our moms. Kung hindi tayo nag-aaral, sino yung nagpupursige na mag-aaral tayo? Minsan, nanay palagi, no? They are very persistent. And somebody said this statement, because God cannot be everywhere, so He created mothers. It seems that they are always around, right? Eavesdropping, seeing everything we do, you know. Ang mga tatay, nagbabasa lang ng dyaryo yan, kung nagtitingin sa sports channel, nandyan. Pero nanay, nagsikaso talaga. What are you doing? How are things going on? I'm not saying that the fathers are not doing like that also, but they are very intentional and they just have that kind of persistence. As a mother, like this Canaanite woman, she cannot just surrender. She will provide the need for her daughter. For this, let me just cite also this mother and son. Joyce Smith, this lady is Joyce Smith, and this is her son, John Smith. John Smith was drowned in a freezing waters in the U.S. at Missouri. And he was brought to the hospital and declared death on arrival, or dead for 27 minutes. His heart has stopped breathing for 27 minutes. And the doctor said, there's no way. He's dead already. He's pronounced dead. But when the mother heard it, Joyce Smith, she prayed in the hospital so loud. She prayed and asked the Lord to revive her son. And immediately the heartbeat came back. And that's why John Smith said that I am a miracle boy, because the Lord revived me. But nobody can just do that except the mother, see? He will not just accept that my son is dead. She prayed and the son revived. Hindi lang basta-basta mag-surrender ang isang nanay. She will always do everything to provide the needs of her family. My experience in life is like that also. I think if not for my mom, if not for her sacrifices, hindi kami makatapos lahat. We are 4 in the family, 4 siblings. I'm the eldest. All of us are 4 male boys. 4 male boys. And, okay. By God's grace, we were able to finish college. It's because of the sacrifices of our parents, particularly my mom. I think she experienced the hardships of raising 4 male boys in the family. When I was growing up with my next brother, I was 16, 15 years old. So during that time, I played a lot of basketball. So I ate a lot. My brother ate a lot. Each one of us ate a lot. But the income of my father was not just that. He just earned a meager income from the factory. So my mom has to be sure that every one of us, will be so disciplined not to eat all the food in the cabinet or in the food closet. Because whatever we can see there, we are to grab everything and eat. And then my father, after work, he has nothing to eat anymore because all the boys have eaten the food. So my mother has her own way just to discipline us. And my mom taught us how to really be disciplined on how to study. She woke up me early in the morning to just study. She was the one who was who followed up me how that I will be able to study a lot. Thank God for our mothers who really do not surrender but sacrifice for us. That's why they are tender but they are tough. They are sensitive, yet they are stubborn. These are the contrast or the paradoxical truth in the mother's heart. They are delicate, yet they are very determined. Pacquiao could not be Pacquiao without Eunicia. I don't know. If Mayweather will fight the mother, I don't know if Mayweather will be able to bear it. Okay, that's why the second plant that is in the heart of a mother is a bamboo. A bamboo is a pliant plant, but it's very strong. Pliable, yet very strong. I have a friend in Leyte who said that a thief, nahirapan daw ang isang kawatan na pasukin yung kubo kaysa isang bahay na kabilya yung barandilya ng bintana. I don't know whether that is true. But sabi niya, it's because ang bamboo, ang hirap daw baliin, ang hirap daw kasi it will bend. You think that it is very, very soft, but it's not really soft at all. It's very pliant. You cannot just, unlike in an iron grill, when you are going to sew it, you can bend it and it's so brittle, it will break away. So I don't know whether that is true, but that is what he said to me. Because a bamboo is a plant which is very strong, yet sensitive, yet tender. The last here is a being productive heart. In verse 25, but she came and knelt before Jesus, saying, Lord, help me. And he answered, it is not right to take the children's bread and throw it to the dogs. She said, "Yes, Lord, yet even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall from their master's table." Then Jesus answered her, "O woman, great is your faith, be it done for you as you desire." And her daughter was healed instantly. When Jesus said to her, "It is not good, it's not appropriate that you throw the food to the dogs," I'm just marveling the wisdom of this lady when she said, "Yes, totoo yun, pero maski sa mga mumulang, makakain ng mga aso." I am just thinking about the creativity. I'm just thinking about the ingenuity of this woman. Sa ating bahay, walang masayang pag nandun ng nanay. Isn't it? Pag kumakain ka, hindi mo ubusin yung pagkain nyo, nagagalit ang nanay. Alam mo ba, ang daming mga tao sa mundo na walang kinakain? You heard it 1,000 times. It's just like, it's already irritating in your ears. A mother has a productive heart. You see, in Proverbs 31, we don't have time to read it, but in Proverbs 31, that is not a picture of a woman that is not strong. It's a picture of a woman who provides the needs of the family. In Proverbs 31, he sees everything there. He's a real estate broker. She's a bakery owner. She prepared food. Everything you can know, every industry you can think of, the mother is like that. A virtuous woman is like that. It's because she's very productive. She wants to just create for the needs of the family. Ang nanay natin ay alam siya paano wala pa yung mga reuse, recycle, ganun. Nandiyan na sa bahay natin, yung mga recycle, ano yan. No? During the time of the Depression, during the 1960s, before the martial law, I experienced hardships because my father was retrenched from the factory. Because a lot of boycotts, a lot of pickets, a lot of strikes, ganun. Nawalan trabaho si tatay. So my dad has to do a lot of things, fishing, okay, farming, whatever. My father was a jack of all trades, master of none. I was very, very young then, 7, 8 years old, and then I have to follow him, fishing or wherever we go. And my mother has to recycle a lot of our food. You see? Yung mga bahaw, hindi masasayang yan. Because i-preserve niya yan. Lagyan lang niya kung ano dyan. Pag ano mo, parang, ano bang ginagawa nila doon sa mga pagkain na hindi masasayang? They are just but creative and they have this ingenuity to just provide for the needs of the family. When we were very young, my mom, because we were very near to the river where there are a lot of nipa mangroves. My mom has to go there just to gather seashells for 1 hour, just for us to have a viand for that day, because my father was away. I mean, she will just do everything to provide for the needs of the family. I think you can identify with me what your mother had done for you in order to provide your needs. They are just but creative and ingenious. One of the examples in the Bible of being an ingenious mother was Jochebed. Jochebed was the mother of Moses. According to Exodus chapter 2, a man from the house of Levi, his name was Amram, went and took as his wife a Levite woman, this is Jochebed. The woman conceived and bore a son, this is Moses, and when she saw that he was a fine child, she hid him 3 months. During this time, there was a decree from Pharaoh that all the Jewish male child, will have to be killed. All the mothers who had children who are boys or male, I don't know what they felt. Sila ba ang papatay o hintayin ba niya ang mga sundalo ang papatay? Whatever they were going to do, this son will not survive. But there was a mother by the name of Jochebed. Tinago niya yung anak niya for 3 months. How long can you hide a child? You cannot hide a child for so long because the child will cry when there is no milk. The baby will cry when she has pain or like that. You cannot hide that baby that long. And she must have surrendered during this time and said, wala na tayo magagawa, ginawa na natin lahat, 3 buwan na, hindi na natin matatago. Ano gagawin pa natin? But in verse 3, when she could hide him no longer, she took for him a basket made of bulrushes and daubed it with bitumen and pitch. She put the child in it and placed it among the reeds by the river bank. Bakit naisip niya ito na maggagawa ko ng basket? Anyway, I think kung mayroong weaving of basket that contest in the whole world during this time, ito si Jochebed ang manalo. Can you make really a basket so tight enough that hindi papasukan ng tubig? Ipalitaw mo sa ilog? I cannot imagine fetching water from the spring or from dadalhin ko basket. But this was a basket that was very sealed that hindi mapasukan ng tubig, and put Moses there, covered it, pinalitaw niya sa ilog because right there, a few meters away was the queen or the princess bathing. Pasakali na magkikita niya at ampunin niya yung bata. She did not surrender that her son will just die without trying what she could do. Why? Because she looked at her child as a fine child. According to Hebrews chapter 11, by faith Moses, when he was born, was hidden for 3 months by his parents because they saw that the child was beautiful and they were not afraid of the king's edict. Now, nakukonvince si Jochebed na ang bata kung ito is beautiful. The word beautiful is not only that he was physically handsome, but he was elegant. He has a future. He has a potential. Itong bata na to, hindi ito ordinaryo na bata. Itong bata na to ay mayroong future. She look at him and look at him with this faith that my son is not an ordinary son. And I believe that mothers, that should be the way we are going to look to our children. Our children are not problems. Our children are not source of pain for us. Although they are naughty, because foolishness is bound in the heart of a child, but they are gifts from the Lord. They are heritage from the Lord. Psalm 107 verse 3, and we have to look at them just like now, the way Jochebed looked at Moses, that he was beautiful. You're not raising a problem in this world. You're raising a life that could be a blessing, and that's the design of God for our children, that they would become a blessing. Simply because there was a mother who believed that Moses is somebody when he was very young. Moses became the greatest leader in history. When in fact, no other great leader than Moses was described in the Bible. He's the meekest man on earth. He was a great leader. You know, there was a reward of what he did. In verse 9 and 10, and Pharaoh's daughter said to her, ang istorya dito, kinuha ng prinsesa, lumapit si Miriam, yung kapatid ni Moses, who was following the basket along the river. Nung binuksan ng prinsesa, the baby cried, naakit yung prinsesa. Nakita niya si Miriam, find somebody who will nurse for this boy, for this baby. Immediately, Miriam ran to her mother. And the mother, Jochebed, went to the princess, and this is what the princess said to her. And Pharaoh's daughter said to her, take this child away and nurse him for me. Imagine that. This was this baby that she released in the river. Binalik ng Panginoon sa kanya at siya nila nag-alaga. And I will give you your wages. That, most of you mothers, sabi ninyo, wala akong sahod, dito lang ko sa bahay. You feel that you are so bored and you feel that you are undercompensated. You feel that you are wasting your time because you are not working in an office. I tell you, being a mother, according to the Bible, nobody can be a homemaker except for a woman. In Titus chapter 2, if you just read there, exhort the older women to the younger women that they will be homemaker. Now, it does not mean that you cannot work in the office. It does not mean that you can only be in the home, confined the home. But That should not be an excuse for you that you should not be a homemaker because you're working in an office, because that is the design for you. To be in the home, to be a homemaker. Now, how are you going to do that? I don't know, but that is the primary concern of a mother, to be in the home, to nurse the child. So Moses was nursed by his mother himself. Binayaran pa siya ng Pharaoh's daughter, ng prinsesa. So the woman took the child and nursed him. When the child grew older, she brought him to Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son. She named him Moses because he said, I drew him out of the water. Though in the next verses, Moses refused to be called the son of Pharaoh. Pinili pa niya to suffer with the people of God. To suffer with the affliction of the people of God. Bakit hindi niya pinili na maging anak ng Pharaoh's daughter o maging apo ng Pharaoh? Bakit ba? Where did he learn that? Saan niya nakuha dun? Did he learn the values of luxury, material things? While he was in Egypt, in the palace, he grew up there, but ang values niya is to love the Lord, to love the people of God. Why? Because of the mother. Moses became as Moses, the great leader, because of Jochebed. Simply because of a woman who has a big heart for her children, or her child, Moses. Sana ganun tayo sa ating mga anak. Don't surrender, don't ever surrender to the faith that, ang bata ko ganito lang, wala ko nung magagawa. Because God gifted us with this life, and this life is a perfect gift. Hindi natin makompare yun ng ibang mga bata, but to the best that we can, we know that this child can grow to be a blessing to glorify the Lord. So in the heart of a mother is a coconut tree, a bamboo tree, and a banana tree. That signifies the perceptivity, the sensitivity of the woman's heart. Okay. Exemplified or signified by the banana tree. The persistence of a mother's heart, signified by the bamboo tree or the bamboo plant. And the productivity, signified by a coconut tree. You see, a coconut is a tree with 1,000 uses, isn't it? It is a tree that has a lot of uses. Down from the roots up to the tip of the leaves, you can think of the 1,000 uses of a coconut tree. A mother is like that. A mother is a very productive, a very versatile, very ingenious woman, member, or gift of the family. I hope that we will not discount the fact that they are so precious in our lives. So in this garden, ang tanong ko as we close is, paano natin nalalago itong garden ito na sa puso ng nanay natin? Paano ito lalago? For the garden to grow, and for the garden to bloom, you must do something, you see? I don't know how are we going to honor our mothers in a specific ways. But let it be that our mothers will be honored. Our mothers will experience that they are loved. Our mothers will experience that they are watered. Our mothers they experience that they are cultivated. They have been remembered. Just like when we have a garden at home, if you don't cultivate that garden, if you don't cultivate these plants, it will not grow and bloom. Visit the garden. Visit it and water it and fertilize it by your care, by your love. Communicate to your mom. Call your mom. Express your love to your mom. Which I know most of us had failed. I failed it. I know I have a lot of failings to my mom. But this not yet masabi natin na walang panahon na we have still time. God has given us still the opportune time na mabalikan natin at saka makultivate natin ang ating relationship ng ating mga nanay. I hope that this will encourage us really to honor and love our moms because they are deserving to be loved and honored. Let us pray.